Good morning, everyone. We are here to report our study entitled Response of Tomato Solanum lycopersicum seeds to fish waste and rice water compost on clay soil.
Rationale. The Philippines is an agricultural country with 30 million hectares of land area, which is part of the 47% of agricultural land. A total area of 13 million hectares are allotted to agricultural crops. Furthermore, the Philippines has over 60% of fishes and 300 different kinds of coral species. Thus, the waste from agricultural and fishery sectors produced over 30% of the global agriculture and fishery productivity and are extensively abundant resource materials. Hence, a solution to alleviate this would be an effective transformation of this waste from agricultural and fishery harvesting. It is in need to further utilize this abundant waste like for fertilizer, being a source of enzyme, bioenergy. It is stated by Zhang and Simpson 2019. The findings of this study will have a big contribution to the community, considering that compost play a big role in providing crops with nutrients to grow and produce high quality fruits and crops. Additionally, this compost out of rice water and fish waste will provide the need of having an affordable and organic compost that is ecologically safe.
So for the hypothesis of the study, null hypothesis, there is no significant difference in the response of tomato seeds in rice water and face waste compost. And for the alternative hypothesis, there is a significant difference in the response of tomato seeds in rice water and face waste compost.
Significance of the study. The community, considering that fertilizers play a big role, and to provide the need of having an affordable fertilizer. The farmers will be oriented and will be given ideas, and the parents, teachers, and other stakeholders will also be guided.
Methodology.
Research design. The experiment was done in a completely randomized design with 6 treatments with 3 replications and 5 samples in each treatment, and 1:1 ratio are used in measuring and mixing for the soil and compost. There are 6 treatments with 3 replications and 5 samples in each treatment. Controlled treatment or treatment 1 is just the clay soil. Treatment 2 is clay soil with compost 1. Treatment 3 is clay soil with compost 2. Treatment 4 is the combination of clay soil and compost 3. Treatment 5 is the combination of clay soil and compost 4. And treatment 6 is the clay soil with compost 5. Location and duration of the study. The study was mainly conducted at Dos Lumbo, Valencia City, Bukidnon, specifically in the process of mixing clay soil and compost and planting of tomato seeds. The soil sample was collected from Mabuhay, Kadingilan, Bukidnon, and the development of compost was conducted at Eco Verde Homes, San Isidro, Alae, Manolo, Fortich, Bukidnon. For 2 weeks from April 30 to May 14, 2021, the data collection, interpretation, and analysis was accomplished in the month of May 2021. Materials and equipment. The study utilized different materials and equipment for the conduct of the study. In the collection of soil sample, a shovel, sack, and mattock was used. Mattock to dig and gather the soil and the shovel to place the clay soil in the sack. In the development of compost, a total of 2,500 grams of leaves, 10,000 grams of loam soil, 5,000 ml tap water, 1,500 ml rice water, and 1,500 grams of fish waste was collected. 5 plastic pails of same sizes respectively for each compost were used as a container to develop the compost. A gardening shovel for collecting and preparing a soil sample was also used. A marker, paper, and a masking tape was needed in labeling the compost. A carton and a cellophane was used to cover the plastic pails. Lastly, a weighing scale for measuring samples. The main materials needed in mixing are clay soil, and a developed compost from the last method. The clay soil and compost was mixed inside a basin where a cup was used to have a 1:1 ratio. The plastic cellophane gloves were used by the researchers for them to hand mix the clay soil and compost. The mixed clay soil and compost filled in the seedling trays accordingly. Tomato seeds were placed on the soil pushed by the toothpick to ensure that the seeds are inside. Spray container with water to water it. Masking tape and marker was used for labeling. A ballpen was used to jot down the data in the logbook and a ruler to measure the height of the plant. Also, a phone camera roll was used to document the data gathering and capture the materials used.
Collection of soil sample. The specific type of soil that we utilize in this study is a clay type of soil collected at a selected area at Purok Farm, Mabuhay, Kadingilan, Bukidnon. Development of compost. After gathering all the material needed, which include plastic pail, gardening shovel, fish waste, loam soil, leaves, rice water, and tap water, we can now proceed to the developing of compost. 2,000 grams of soil, 500 grams of leaves, and 1,000 ml of tap water were mixed in each pails respectively. 300 grams of fish waste was mixed in the first pail, labeled as compost 1, while on the other hand, 300 ml of rice water is poured on the second pail, which is labeled as compost 2. Continuously on pail 3 labeled as compost 3, 300 ml of rice water and 300 grams of fish waste was mixed. On the fourth pail, labeled as compost 4, 600 grams of fish waste and 300 ml of rice water was poured. Lastly, on the fifth pail, labeled as compost 5, 600 ml of rice water was poured and 300 grams of fish waste was added. After preparing the samples, all the different 5 plastic pails were sealed individually. This was monitored for 2 weeks every day at Ecoworthy Homes Alae Manolo Fortich, Bukidnon. The day after the sample was prepared is considered as day 1. After the 2 weeks span given for the compost to be developed, it is then transported to Valencia City where the planting of tomato seeds will be conducted.
So in the mixing of clay soil and compost, a cup was used to have a 1:1 ratio, and in which the researchers hand mix it. In the planting of tomato seed, one tomato seed was placed per hole, and a toothpick was used to inserting the seed to be inside the soil. And then the researchers also labels the seedling trays.
In data gathering, the parameters considered are the seed's germination, the plant height, and the number of leaves. Data analysis was performed using statistical package for the social science, specifically using one-way analysis of variance and descriptive.
Results.
The objective of the study is to determine the percent of tomato seed germination in clay soil with different composts, and for conclusion, all of the treatment revealed a no significant difference on the germination rate of tomato, which is Solanum lycopodium seeds, and for its recommendation allot a specific period of time to record the germination rate of tomato, which is Solanum lycopodium seeds, and also include survival rate.
Objective number 2. Find out any significant difference in the growth of tomato seeds that has compost in terms of its height. Conclusion. All treatments showed no significant difference on the height of tomato Solanum lycopersicum. In terms of the mean value, treatment 4 with a 1:1 ratio of rice water and fish waste is the highest, followed by treatment 3, and the lowest is treatment 5. Recommendation. extend the germination or growing of the tomato Solanum lycopersicum seeds for months.
Objective number 3. Determine any significant difference in the number of leaves of tomato plants grown on rice water and fish waste compost. In conclusion, the growth performance of tomato plant in terms of its number of leaves shows that clay soil with compost 1 or treatment 2 having rice water only is significant compared to other treatments of tomato seeds. Recommendation is growing tomato plants in a long period of time and transplanting it to have a better recorded data.
That would be all, and thank you for listening.